listening to the City Podcast, live and direct from the Spoke Club in downtown Toronto.
Yes, we are here.
Steve Mealing.
Chad Cranston.
And our guests this week are...
So listen, this is a special night because I've been looking forward to this all week. That's why I was calling you and texting you and making sure these girls are coming tonight because this is a special one.
We're honored.
Yeah, we are so honored. We're so honored.
So
introduce
these girls,
yourself.
Well, okay, you guys introduce yourself. You guys do it. You guys do the magic.
That way there's a voice to the name and the name to the voice.
Right. I am Hubby, also known as Angela, and also known as Papa.
And also known as the man of the house.
Yeah.
Someone has to be.
Yeah, no, totally.
And I'm Wifey. I am also Vava or Valentina, and I am definitely the lady of the house. I'm the mama bear.
Valentina.
Yes.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that.
He goes, is that your real name? I'm like, yeah, Vava is my real name. Sure.
It's always by Vava, Hubby, or Wifey.
Yeah.
At all times.
And you guys are from where?
The store on Queen.
The store on Queen. What's your address, actually?
TSOQ.
Yes, I do know that. But what's your address?
662 Queen Street West.
For those who are too lazy to search it.
Yeah.
And you guys are on Instagram?
Yes.
And how
Facebook, Twitter.
Okay,
we have an online store.
Give it all out right now. So off the top, if people want to, while they're listening, they can have a look at what's going on. So they can find. There you go.
You can find us on at the Strong Queen, at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our website is our website is www.thestoreonqueen.com.
Who says www anymore?
I say
I don't know.
It's 2016.
What do people say?
Really?
You can say HTTP if you really want to go.
Yeah.
Oh my
if you want to go there, I'll say it.
Semicolon,
/
dot.
Yeah.
IP address 183.
How am I the oldest one in the room? And I don't even use that.
Because you haven't accepted this yet. You haven't accepted it yet.
I've already passed it.
You're past it.
Halt and catch fire, dear. Halt and catch fire.
Triple W's. All the way through.
Yeah.
I like that. Triple W.
Yeah, there we go. That's the cool one.
So clearly such a tech-savvy group.
She is.
That was beautiful.
Oh my God.
But she is.
I'm a bit of a nerd, for sure.
Yeah.
So do you handle the whole social media? Do you do all the posting? So how does this work?
We both do.
So every day that I go on my Instagram, you guys, it's fine. I'm good. Because I'm
projecting your voice?
Projecting right now.
There we go.
Right? So every day that I go on, I see you guys on it. And I love it. It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
How do you manage to do this 24 hours, 7 days a week? Because if I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, your pictures are both showing up as well too. I'm like, fuck, and you're on a different outfit like all the time. And I know it's part of your marketing strategy. I know it's part of what you got to do for advertising. But how do you manage to do this? Do you have a photographer doing this for you guys?
Our staff does it.
Yeah, we train our staff to get our angles.
So like you have your own film crew.
We take all the photos on our cell phones.
Yeah.
Really, eh?
Mm-hmm.
No camera, no filters, no nothing.
Nope.
Just boom, 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 boom,
bam.
boom.
We used to, like, I think the first year when we first joined Instagram, I think we did do filters and stuff. But what we found is since we use the same images on our website, it's just better.
It's more cohesive.
Cohesive if there's no filters.
And visually pleasing.
Yeah.
And over time, when I look back at those old photos that have filters and stuff, they look they're dated.
Boom.
They look old, they look faded, the quality is not the same. Yeah, and I know that sounds weird because it's the same photo, but when I look back, the quality looks way different.
Right there.
Yeah, so we keep it like that's the photo.
It's
So
like
we
the
rely on
difference
natural
Versus
light.
iPhone 6.
That's what I was just going to say. And
And I had the
iPhone 7.
Yeah.
The new 7 Plus has got what? 2 cameras on it?
It's got 2
I don't
cameras on
know.
it?
Or sorry, 2 lenses, yeah. Anyways, we'll talk later
And
when
we
someone
rely
knows
on
what we're
natural
talking
light.
Yeah.
about. Yes.
Yeah, it's all natural light, time.
So you guys can upgrade to 7s as soon as possible. The 7 Plus, I think, it is the one you want.
Yes.
And I guess
And
we should.
business write-off.
Yeah.
Clearly, you need
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Get rid of your... What was the phone that kept blowing up?
Samsung. Yeah. Poor them, eh?
And the 7's blowing up too now, too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. Some guy's suing his leg was like shredded.
I'm telling
Wow,
you.
what?
I'm telling you, it is like the computer world taking
Wow.
over. I'm telling you. Robots.
We
Yes,
we
this
can
is
get
true.
into
I'm
this.
telling you, intelligence, man.
Who are you supposed to be?
What a great head of hair you have, sir.
I didn't
Yes.
ask you.
I'm,
sir.
I'm whoever.
You sexy,
You
boo.
need a name.
I'm just a guy with a wig. That's what I am.
You didn't get
Hi,
your
guy
makeup
with
done.
the
Everybody
wig.
else got their makeup done.
Sometimes I'm.
What do you got
Andy
there, Chad?
Warhol.
This is beer.
That
Yes,
was
kind
really
of
fun.
beer.
Thanks for the
what kind of
obvious
beer?
plug.
Because no, he told me, oh, this is the Mill Street Meridian,
Yeah,
right?
100th Meridian.
Yeah, so
100th
this is
Meridian,
not a
that's
plug for
good.
Mill Street whatsoever. I'm just drinking it because it's good and I wanted something dark.
Thank you. Thank you.
I don't see a margarita on that tray. Oh, yes, I do.
shit, girl.
Oh,
Damn.
snap. Thank you. And I don't see a straw, but that's okay.
And he's going to pull it
Oh,
out of his
yeah.
pocket.
Oh.
This is amazing.
There we
Thank
are.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Fabulous.
Remind me before so I don't take off on the bill.
Sure. I will
Okay.
do.
Or-
Please do. Though.
Warn me.
Seriously, remind me. I will walk if you don't remind me.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It's not. It's probably the second time, and I get a call right after. I'm like, "Fuck, I'm already
Oh.
home, man. I'll come by tomorrow."
Unless
But
you just leave your credit card.
I should do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Next time.
well, no, they
Yeah.
trust him. Or they used to.
Mm.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, I get calls now.
Thanks, Boat Club.
Yeah. That's a shameless plug. Is we are at
Yeah, I was
we
gonna
are
say, well,
at
that
the-
was a deliberate
at the
shout out. Thanks, Boat Club.
But we do.
Oh,
we do.
the
really
drinks and the
appreciate-
no drinks in the room? There's no drinks allowed in this room.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I did see that sign right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's okay. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thank
you very much for coming.
Salut.
Salut.
Salute.
With a coffee.
Yeah.
You want the
Okay.
cheers,
Oh, this
buddy? You
looks
want
already
to
on the
share my
glass.
beer?
Fantastic.
No,
want
do you
to-
not give me water?
Oh.
No, apparently.
Who's
This is her water. Well, I asked for 2 waters.
You put a couple of pretty
Hey,
girls in
man.
the room and you just forget about me like that, eh?
It's not the truth, buddy. You know that I love you.
Apparently it is. You see there, Hillary.
Hillary. Are we getting into this?
These are not the droids you're looking
Oh
for.
my God, are we going to get into this
No, we won't.
political talk that we're gonna have? So back to you girls. Back to you ladies. Give us the history of this whole thing. So were you guys born and raised in Toronto?
No.
Nope. Neither of us.
Thanks,
are.
boss.
Thank you.
Steve would like,
Thank
I
you,
think I
handsome
left him
man
out
with
for
the
the
wig.
water. Can you,
That's okay, don't worry about it.
Water?
That's fine. Don't
he
worry
doesn't
about
want to pee every 2 minutes, that's why.
Hmm.
Ladder's weak. Banter. I like your hair, by the way. Your hair looks nice.
it. Thanks, I got my hair did.
Yeah.
My nails done.
Yeah, looks good.
Even tied up my shoes today.
Is it for us?
Well, clearly. If you saw me a few hours ago, you'd know.
Yes.
So continue with your story that you're not telling.
So neither of us are from Toronto. Actually,
Where are you from?
I was born in Guelph.
Oh, God.
I know.
You goo. You
Yeah.
goo.
You.
Yep.
I got a great you goo story. I got kicked out of you.
Did you?
Kicked out of Guelph. Yes.
What are you talking
That's
about?
another story for another time. Literally, I'm kicked out.
You cannot go back to Guelph University
Nope.
or Guelph, the city itself.
Guelph University.
Okay. I was gonna say,
Imagine.
wow.
Yeah. You bad,
Oh,
boy.
no. Well, yeah, there's.
That's so funny.
I think the drunk tank will do it to you.
Where are you from?
I'm from Victoria, BC.
Oh, you're
Okay.
from out west.
Yeah.
Holistic.
Yes, sir. A little bit. Definitely got
Victoria.
the hippie inside of me.
How did you end up in Toronto then?
That's a long story.
Chasing money?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can
No.
we can you
Well,
tell
it's a good
story?
thing we don't have a lot of
Yeah,
time and it's not a
sure.
podcast so we're not trying to learn about you. Otherwise, I say, oh, how does this long story go? Clearly, you're not ready yet. I'm sure there's a name and a number to go with it. right?
Yeah, no, there totally is.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's fine. I left the city. I was engaged to a Mexican, and I had a business there as well. I sold
In the
it
States?
in Victoria, BC. Oh. Moved to Mexico.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
actually moved.
Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, like left my life behind.
Was there a city or just all of Mexico?
No, I was living in Manzanillo.
I don't even know where that is.
Okay, well, it's like 4 hours from Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, so I was engaged to be married and started a life there and stuff like that, and then
Sweet.
but quickly changed my mind.
You did?
I did.
Good for you. You pulled the chute.
I pulled the chute. Yeah, I pulled the chute. I just
How long was that plane ride?
very quick. It was 6 months.
No,
were
the plane
together-
ride.
Oh.
Plane ride home. Oh my God, I gotta get home. I gotta get home.
Pretty much, but I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna go back home because I'd left my life behind there. I'd already
Okay.
sold my business. I wasn't gonna go back there and open another store
Yeah.
and start again.
Declare,
I
"Oh, I
said bye
changed
to
my mind."
everybody,
Yeah.
and you know. And so I knew when I had moved to Mexico that even my fiance at the time, we knew that if we ever came back to Canada, we planned on living there, like not ever coming back to
Yeah,
Canada,
yeah.
but we always knew if we ever did, we would come to Toronto because I had a cousin here and he had a friend here. And so that was just kind of like always in the air.
So
And then when I decided to leave there,
you're YYZ.
I was like, yeah, that's it. And so I came with I had adopted a cat when I was there. So then I got on a plane. I left my fiance 4 days later. I was on a plane with my cat, 6 suitcases of shit, and here in my cousin's apartment in downtown Toronto.
And he was just
And-
like, oh, great.
Yeah, he wasn't home. I left while he was at work, actually.
That sounds familiar, buddy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And yeah, that's the story.
Yeah.
And
That's a good
then-
story, though, you have to admit. So how did you end up hooking up with each other then?
Yeah, so I moved in with my cousin. And then a few weeks later, I got a job bartending at a restaurant, the Baton Rouge here in the Bay Center, or Eaton Center. And then I went to LA and started my whole thing again, where I started a website and was selling clothes out of my condo.
Okay,
And I
was
didn't
it
know
like
anybody
new clothes,
here.
vintage clothes?
Yeah, like
Okay.
exactly what we do.
Okay.
And just started like hustling and like walking down Queen Street and handing out flyers to like pretty girls and inviting them to hotel rooms and trying to sell my shit. And then
Wait a sec. Same thing Chad kind of does. Hustling pretty girls.
You know, talking to pretty girls, blah,
and then
blah,
trying to get them to your hotel room.
blah.
That sounds familiar. Is that a real laugh or a fake laugh?
Oh,
'Cause you're
everything's real,
multitasking.
sweetheart.
You're
Everything is real.
multitasking.
I always
Perfect.
multitasking. Remember I said the intenseness? Yeah, so then I was doing that and then about just under a year later, we were moving my cousin into another condo and we were moving her that day and she met, I remember bringing furniture.
You're missing a very important part.
What?
You were actively looking for a
Yes.
relocation.
Yeah, so because I am a
okay.
retailer,
Yeah.
when I moved here, like even before I came here, I went from Mexico. Actually, I went back to BC to Victoria to see my family before I came here for 6 days, and I'd already started looking up real estate. And so I found a store, went through all the motions and everything when it came down to payment.
Yeah.
And I still wish I could find in my old email box the address. I still would love to know what store that was. But when it came down to payment, they then wouldn't accept it knowing I wasn't in the city. And so even over Skype or whatever, I was like, my cousin is in Toronto. She'll bring you the checks, like, la, la, la. They wouldn't lease it to me. So then I moved here. Then I started selling out of my condo, la, 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 whatever,
Yeah.
whatever. And from literally the moment I got a job and whatever, I was then looking for real estate. So I would just like walk up and down Queen Street. I would call like every single lease all the time, just kind of wherever I thought I would fit in, even though I was new to the city. So I wasn't going off of anything except for I just would walk around downtown.
Some intuition.
Yeah, I guess. And I never found anything that was suitable because with my last store, when I opened it, I did it pretty much 100% off of debt. Like I borrowed all the financing to open my store, renovated all that shit. But after a year, I wanted to leave the country and go to start my life in Mexico. But I had this store, this 3-year lease, all this debt, and I didn't want it anymore, but I couldn't just leave. So when I knew I was going to do it all over again, I was like, no way. I'm not fucking signing another 3 or 5 year lease. I'm not borrowing $100,000. I'm not doing that again because I just arrived here in Toronto. Like, I don't even know if Toronto's my home. You know, I
you
could
don't
end
want
up,
to be tied here.
I don't want to be tied here
anchored.
like I was already tied in the last city. And I came off a broken heart and I was like, I could meet an Italian man and move to Italy. Like, I'm totally a free spirit. No, but like legit though. I like nothing stops
It's
me.
like,
I could move to Dubai tomorrow, you know? So nothing
good
was
thing we got you in here
suitable.
now.
Yeah. Thank God or I wouldn't have this one.
You're telling me.
Yeah, so nothing worked out. And so I was just kind of trying to hustle, do my own thing from my condo and, you know, hit the ground running, but like on a solo, whatever, independent mission. And then...
And the one thing you need to know about Valentina is that when she wants something, like, she, like, wants it, like, yesterday.
So you're focused.
Like, she's super focused.
Yeah.
I'm super focused and just super,
super
passionate and determined that if I want it, like,
Well, there's a will, there's a
It's
way,
not, it's
right?
not just
Absolutely.
like she's like strolling and like, oh, it's like, maybe I'll call this place. No, like she'll like go and stroll and go and call that place like right away.
She'll
Oh,
hunt,
yeah.
hunt them down.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
coffee
yeah,
where?
I'm just trying to paint a
yeah.
Your
picture.
coffee where? I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm kind of
Yeah.
similar, obsessive compulsive kind of way.
Yeah, I
Fixated on
guess.
one thing, you're just like done.
Oh yeah. Like when my
Multitasking,
mind
yeah.
has something, like
It's
even when
done.
I opened my first store, it was the minute I decided I was gonna have a store, I literally had one in 30 days. And I had no means of it. But I was like, I'm gonna fucking do it. I hustled a business plan, I hustled trying to get money, and it was like there was no other way. Like when my mind said, I'm gonna open a store, it was like, I don't know how. I've never ran a business, I have no money, but guess what? I'm gonna fucking figure it out.
Well, you figured
And
it
I
out. So
did.
how did you end up in the picture?
Yeah, so then
You
so
tripped over
then-
on the sidewalk? What?
no. So
Hustling?
then we're moving my cousin into her new building. And I remember bringing up furniture and seeing Angela in the lobby. I still remember she had this long, beautiful hair. She was wearing a peachy romper. I think,
Ooh,
no, maybe she
romper's
didn't
good.
have glasses,
I had
but I was like,
glasses.
she was super pretty, like big lashes, like, you know, this hot little Asian girl. I go upstairs, whatever. We're still moving stuff. My cousin comes back upstairs and she's like, hey, like half an hour later, she's like, hey, I just met this girl. She goes, I just met this girl in the lobby. You're gonna love her. And I go, oh my God, the Asian girl? Was it that pretty Asian girl? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, I saw her. She's like, yeah, she's a fashion designer. You two will totally hit it off. We exchange numbers. We're totally gonna go out sometime. She goes, oh yeah, she's a fashion designer. She just moved here. Excuse me, like blah, blah, blah. You guys will totally get along. I was like, super cool. So then like a month goes by or whatever. And I remember the first time I met her, I came after my bartending shift at like midnight or whatever. They were at Sterling Room and I go and meet them at a club. I have a glass of wine. I see this girl so loud we can't even talk. We dance a bit, whatever. I then hung out with her in a very group setting, a handful of times.
So
like
pause there.
Maybe
Pause
4 times.
Yeah. Okay, so we did, like, we start hanging out. So backtrack before I met her.
So what happened when you saw her in the?
So wait. So let's
I don't think
backtrack.
she remembers seeing me.
I didn't see you.
Yeah,
So
I just saw her.
Let's backtrack.
I see
So
everybody.
Then
I do. I have eyes fucking everywhere.
yeah. I was from London before I moved here. I was in
Not from Guelph?
business. No, I was born in Guelph.
Ah,
But I spent many years moving
London,
all over
Ontario.
the place. I studied in London.
Yeah.
But then after I studied in London, I moved literally from city to city. My family owns a restaurant business.
Yep.
And when I came back home from school, I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go and spend some time with my family because I hadn't really seen them. And I knew that I was moving away at the time. I was going to go to New York. And I'm like, let me spend my last 2 months here just like hanging out with my parents. And so I went to like every meeting that my dad had. And at the time he was launching a buffet in Burlington. And so I'd go to the meetings with him. Yeah.
Burlington. Nice.
Yeah. And so I'd go to the meetings with him, and then and afterwards, when the car ride home, I'd ask him a bunch of questions, and I found out that he was like spending so much money, like just developing websites and printing his ads and stuff like that. Because at the time, like there was no CMS, right? Like it's all coding, it's all, you had to know Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver was the only thing.
Yeah, I remember Dreamweaver well.
Yeah.
Dreamweaver 5.
And you had to know like coding.
Yeah.
And I'm a nerd.
What year was this?
This was in
2004, 5, 6.
2005, 6. I mean, no. Yes, maybe 6 or 5. Yeah. And so then I was like, let me help you since I'm here. Like, let me do all the ads for you. Let me do the website, because like it's ridiculous if you're gonna pay this guy like $200 just to add a period after like a sentence. You know what I mean? And so so I started doing that for him. And then I found a new relationship with my parents essentially. And I felt good because I was helping the family. And then in my mind, talent, it will always be there if I could just pause it for a whole second and I can just focus this on doing what was my dad's dream, was to essentially launch a business brand.
Yeah.
And so then we launched that one location. And then I was like, you know what? Let me rebrand the existing restaurant, because it was an old location. He had been operating for, I would say, 10 to 15 years before I stepped in the business. And so I rebranded it, and corporatized it, introduced the POS system, and so I retired of them both essentially. And that therefore I was moving from city to city. We were launching different locations. I was the opener. And then we established a warehouse where we were producing the goods, and we can hire chefs that essentially did, like cooks essentially.
Executed.
Right? Yeah. And everything's, the quality's consistent. And then I met. So
you're franchising then?
Yes. No. I was privately franchised.
Okay.
It wasn't public. And then I decided to launch my own brand, because there was a lot of, since there was a legacy, right? The brand itself had been around for so long. You can fix the restaurant, the interior, and change the menu up and the look of it, but you can't really change that much.
People are going there because of your parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Once you get your own business up and going, you realize the value of a legacy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, totally. And then I had met my previous partner, Twee. Her parents are partners with my parents. And then we really hit it off. She's quite similar to her.
Yeah. And she always said this from day one too.
Quite similar in terms of like the
intensity,
like everything.
High strung, blunt.
Yeah, everything. And and so then
like we're yin and yang.
Yeah,
She's
I get
very
that.
chill. She's way more fucking relaxed.
Well, how the irony of that? And you're from
Yeah.
out west.
Yeah.
And you're from out east, and it's like flipped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we are completely opposite in
Yeah.
almost every sense you can imagine.
And that works.
So
You
what was
can
your brand?
absolutely
What was your
imagine.
brand that you were working on?
So then I launched a restaurant line called Spice Avenue,
Okay.
which was in Upper East Mountain of Hamilton.
Okay.
Which was like a Pan Asian fusion that served like pretty much everything, like dim sum, Vietnamese. It had like a little bit of everything, and then I did that for a few years, and then we decided, and because Twee and I were very similar to her, where we're like, you know what, if we're gonna like hit the road runner, like we have so many ideas, let's do it. So we signed like essentially like 3 leases at the same time.
That's a lot of work.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
So-
that's ambitious.
Yeah. And so we launched Spice Avenue, and then I would say 8 months later, I then launched another location called Main Street, like Main as in chow mein.
Yeah.
In London. And then at that same time, I would say like 3 months later, we had launched a kids indoor playground called Kidscape,
It's a lot of
like landscape at Kidscape.
Yeah.
And it was just a good opportunity that we saw like in the London market. Like,
And what did
it's
you go to school for in London?
fashion design.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't get your MBA.
No.
So I'm thinking-
MBA stuff.
That's what I'm
About
thinking.
like,
Wait a second. You're in London.
Don't get me
You didn't
wrong,
go to
though,
Western and
I've
get your
definitely,
MBA.
like made the 9 locations I opened. I made a lot of mistakes. I definitely learned from them.
For sure.
And so it's like real life like education.
But that's the best
Yeah.
learning.
College
and
versus
especially
university,
when
right?
you're learning with your own money and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the best lessons. I
Yeah.
think like the money that you can
Yeah.
lose almost in business is worth so much more than the money you spend on the education. I
Yeah.
feel in a
For
lot
sure.
of ways.
For sure.
Practical.
You know, because
right?
you
Yeah.
never
Practical
do
over
it
theory.
again.
Yeah.
You fuck up once, you lose some money.
Yeah.
That's
It
it.
won't happen
Fuck up
again.
again,
Do it
you
again in
lose your
another
business.
area.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's like it's the best.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so we launched those 3 businesses, and I was we were essentially like running all 3 at the same time.
And you're what, 22 at this time?
I was 26 at this time.
That's still young for that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
26. I did a lot in like the 5 years. Like
Yeah.
it was like crunch time. It was like
You were
every
like
6 months, I was
retirement
like-
30.
Yeah, no, that was the goal.
You know
Yeah.
how Asians are. They teach them young.
Yeah, and so yeah, no, totally.
Straight
And
up.
I'm, like, working
Straight up,
at,
you're
like,
fucking
11.
working at 6 years old. You know? I mean, I'm Portuguese. I'm a little later. I started working at about 10, but you know.
Yeah. So, and then but I was young and I was single, and I was working long hours. I just wasn't happy anymore. I got to a point where
You realize the
I
sacrifice.
felt like
Yeah.
success shouldn't just be the money that you make. And then I literally woke up one morning. I remember this very clearly. I was sitting having breakfast with Twee, and Twee looked at me and she's like, "You're not happy." And I looked at her. I'm like, "I'm not. Like the business is fine. It's going great, and we had managers operating, but it was just like there was just no meaning to all this stuff that I was doing. And
Just work, you know?
Yeah,
And then it just
you
becomes
hit
a
the
job,
plateau
right?
and you need to move on.
Yeah.
it's like,
Mhm.
and
Well, you're
then-
creative by nature,
Where the
correct?
paycheck
Yes.
doesn't
Yeah.
satisfy
So you're
everything.
just suffocated,
Yeah.
basically.
and so then
In money.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know, and it sounds like, oh my god, boo-hoo, but it's
No, I
in
get
reality.
that.
It's like
It
Yeah.
is. Money
It's hard
doesn't
to
buy
breathe
happiness,
sometimes.
you know?
Like I was, yeah, like I would, yeah, and it wasn't what I wanted, and I wasn't happy, and I felt like I wasn't living anymore. And so then I had started my rental property like portfolio essentially for my retirement.
Yeah.
And so a few properties were available for occupancy. And so at that same time, essentially. And so then she's like, "You're not happy," and I'm like, "I'm not." And we had this conversation. She's like, "You need to like, find yourself and like do what you want and like all that stuff." And she's like, "Go." Like she's like,
She's all hold the fort down?
I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
like totally fine. And I'm like, "I know you're fine." And she was exactly like her. Is that where she like just wanted like what's best for me. And so then
Happy birthday, by the way.
November
I gotta get that
3rd.
on.
November 3rd.
November 3rd is coming up.
Don't worry, you're not late.
You're not
Okay,
late.
good.
We did a mini Toronto celebration
so-
last night.
It's like-
a surprise.
That's
Sorry,
like-
sorry, I should have told you that, but it's November 3rd. So I have to worry about it. It's on my mind. I was gonna text you like it's your birthday.
Yeah. Where's the fucking balloons?
Yeah, where the fuck's my cake,
And the
man?
cake, yeah.
I'll text you.
Where's
I'll
the
text
cake man
you.
hopping out of that
I
cake?
know.
We'll text her and we'll send the balloons at the end.
Okay.
I was actually gonna run next door to like the dollar store and get you
Yeah.
some kind of package.
Yeah,
from
well,
together
you
and then
didn't.
pass it, like,
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna
so
climb
I
the
shouldn't
CN
even say that at
Tower.
all. But like,
Then show
November
up.
3rd
But I
though, will
didn't.
be even better because it'll make the time better.
Yeah.
Okay, so rental.
Yeah,
Sorry
so
about
then
that.
it
I had
was-
to get that out.
It's
Like,
okay. It was available. And then,
Sorry. Before I forget, 'cause my
A little
mind-
premature,
week, this whole
Chad.
while, I've been
See it.
forgetting everything, man. This whole week, people have been telling me shit. I'm like, fuck. So what'd you say your name was again?
Oh, story of my
I have to start
life.
carrying a notepad around
Everyone's
with
babe,
you.
baby, honey, boo. Yeah,
God,
you know.
So
What'd you
much
say to
meaning.
me?
Shit, I won't even remember your names tomorrow. No, just kidding.
So we almost went 10 minutes without it being about Chad.
It's never about me.
You didn't even disguise
This
it.
is a humbling experience.
So how many days away is that? 4 or 5 days?
It's a
Oh, I
humbling
had to get it out before I forgot.
because my mind
fuck is
I
that?
forget everything. I would forget it again. I would.
I get it.
I should have texted you.
Oh,
Anyways,
for
go on,
sure.
sorry.
Should have.
No, I have an attention span of like a squirrel. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, so it's fine. But yeah, so I got an email literally on that same day that it was available, and then it just kind of like I was like, I'm gonna take over one of the units, and so I moved to Toronto, and that's where
So you bought one of the condos
yes,
and you were renting them out.
Yeah.
Good for you. And you moved into one of your condos in downtown.
yes.
And,
And
by
that's the
chance,
building.
you were hanging out in the lobby one day.
No, so I walked in because I was moving some of my stuff, and then I saw her cousin, and she looked kind of distressed. And
You
I
guys were
walked
moving
by
in
her.
on the same day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kismet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it all is. Like this, wait till you get the rest of our story. Our whole fucking
When you guys look at the
story
clock, is it
is
1:11?
magic. Like we will
2:22?
die together on matching like hospital beds.
I do.
So-
That's why I'm asking.
Oh.
No, so I was moving my stuff in. I walked by this girl. It's pretty tall brunette, and I was like, and she was like stressing out, and I could totally feel her. I wasn't looking at her, but I just walked by her and totally feel that she was stressing out. I looked over and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And then she goes, "No, actually." And then she's like, and then she tells me like how she was like running late. And she's like, "I'm moving in. I can't find the service elevator. I can't find blah, blah." I'm like, "Let me help you out. I'll take you to."
Did you guys
the-"
book the service elevator?
She did.
Oh.
I didn't.
Oh.
So then, she's
But
like,
you weren't moving furniture that day.
No, I wasn't. I was just
no.
like moving clothes and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you don't need the service. But if
No.
you were moving your couch in, would you have a service elevator? Just
Yeah.
like here. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
common
yeah.
sense, right?
Yeah,
But
totally.
she-
Just checking. Just
Fuck
checking.
off.
Oh.
I know.
No, what?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't do that when he moves.
We're not going
Oh.
to talk about it.
Anyway.
Okay, got it.
He's leading into something. here.
Yeah,
It's just,
okay.
it only
Yeah,
took
yeah.
us fucking 2 hours to do it, so I figured I could do it anyways.
Sorry, keep going.
It's okay.
I thought that was relevant to what I was. Some people still think you don't need to book a service
Do whatever I
elevator.
want. It's my world.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me in.
You're just a guest
Sorry,
in my
go.
world here.
So you got some bad energy off this girl.
Yeah. So then, not bad energy. She
No,
was just
and-
like stressing out.
Stress
Yeah.
energy,
And so
sorry.
then I'm like, "Oh, let me help you out. Like, I'll take you to get security." So I took her to the security, and then she's like, and I'm leaving. And I'm like, "Well, good luck with your move." And she's like, "Are you moving in here too?" Blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah." So we exchanged numbers, and then I went on my way. And then like I would say within like that same week, we were like chatting. I was like seeing her, and she'd come over, and like all that stuff. We started hanging out. And then I would say like about a month later, that was the first time where I then met Valentina.
Oh, so you met through your cousin.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then we were out, and we like, when you go out, it's like you don't really get to know anybody. Like,
And we weren't
it's
like out for drinks. Like the first few times, like it's literally in a club.
yeah,
Like
you
there's
can't
people
be, like,
everywhere. It's super
screaming
loud.
or-
Like
yeah.
all I knew was her name was Angela.
Yeah,
I didn't know shit. Like
so it's kind of
literally
like a
didn't know
Tinder
shit.
date for coffee where you got a back door on
Totally.
either end.
There you
Yeah.
go.
totally.
Yeah,
Yeah. If one was to
And-
Tinder.
there you go. I've Tindered, but anyways.
And so then her cousin moves away, and about 2 months later, 3 months later, because that was November. So about 3 months later, excuse me, on leap year day. Yeah.
February
February
29th.
February 29th,
Yeah.
which happens
Once every 4 years. For
Which is
everyone.
now
Yeah.
tattooed on my body.
And I messaged her because I wasn't working at the time, because my plan was to,
So you
in
retired,
Toronto.
basically.
and I'm like, I was gonna find me again.
Yeah.
During schooling, I did. I was interviewed in an article, and I was asked, "Where do you see yourself in 10 to 15 years?" And this is during my schooling.
Yeah.
Yes. And I said, owning a ladies' clothing store on Queen Street West.
What was your goal then?
Legit, this is published in a fucking newspaper.
Published, and
Wow.
or in Miami. Okay,
Yeah.
so those were the two things that I saw myself, like that's what I wanted in life, period. And then I took a detour with the restaurants, and then fast track back to the leap year day. I asked her, I'm like, are you free today? I'm like, do you want to go have lunch? And she, by chance, was free.
Yeah.
And so then we went out for
Or was hungry. Imagine that.
Well, she was working at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm like free as a bird.
Like I happened to have the day off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so then we met up for like lunch. We had a girls' night. We caught up on like, our history, like what we believe in, our like past relationships, like all that
Like
stuff.
actually getting
to
to like know each other. Like we'd never like really gotten to know each
I think
other.
that was like the first
At this
talk.
time, I think I knew that she had owned restaurants, but that's literally all I knew about her. Oh, and I knew she was a fashion designer. Obviously, I knew
Fashion
she was a
designer
fashion
that owns
designer.
restaurants.
Yes, I knew she was a trained fashion designer,
Yep.
and she owned restaurants.
Yeah. And and all I knew was that she owned a store, and she is a very passionate person, and that she had a loud laugh like me, and that and when we left that lunch that day, I remember saying we both didn't feel.
But
like
wait,
Toronto
you didn't
was
tell
really-
me your Twitter that morning.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
So
This
I
is
tweeted
the
in
most-
the morning. I woke up. I literally woke up in the morning. I'm like, oh, today I'm feeling kind of magical today.
Legit, that's what she
Yeah.
tweeted that
This
morning.
happens once in a blue moon, or this is just a one.
Once in a blue moon.
Is this,
Oh,
and this is
too
on
much.
February 29th?
No, you've never
this the
said that
lead?
before. That's
I've never.
no, that was like a one-time deal.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what
I've
I'm
never-
asking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was trying to add
No,
drama
and
to
I'm
it.
like, no, to her, not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that was on February 29th. And that was before I actually messaged her. Then we go out for lunch, and then I'm driving her home, and we had a great time. I'm driving her home, and then she's like, oh my God, stop the car. And I'm like, oh, what? And I'd already passed the location that she had seen. And so she's like, oh, never mind. I just saw a sign for rent. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just turn back around. So I
Yeah.
turn back around.
Of
'Cause I
anyone
was still already
appreciating it
calling
would be
nieces,
you.
right?
You're like
Mhm.
scouting a location. I get
Yeah.
this. I'll help you out. I'll turn around.
No, but that wasn't on her radar at that moment.
No,
that
what
was
I'm
not what
saying
she
is-
was doing.
But even
No,
so,
she
can
was
appreciate
willing to turn
property.
around when you drive. This is
Yeah.
for a person who lives in Toronto.
Yeah.
They'll know turning around when you're going somewhere in downtown Toronto is kind of a commitment.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Because otherwise, it's like, fuck it, we're already past it. I'm on my way. It sounds just like you do a Yui in the street, and you're just like, oh, la, la, la.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
True?
And it is true.
True that.
And this would, yeah, like I would have
So you hooked your
been-
sister up.
Yeah,
You
so I
turned
back
it.
around.
She gets yeah.
And I would say like 3 weeks prior to this date, actually, I forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah,
I told my
applied.
girlfriend Mandy,
Oh.
I was like, I'm so bored. Like I'm bored out of my mind. I was partying every day, like essentially, except for Tuesdays or Mondays. No, Tuesday, because Monday was industry night.
Yeah. Sundays and Mondays
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was partying every day. I was getting to know the city, and I was bored. I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, I'm gonna apply for my visa to move to the States, either in LA or in New York.
New York, yeah.
And then, because I'm like, I just can't. I don't feel like the city's like my city. I don't feel like it's home. I'm like, it's so small. I see the same people, yada yada yada. And she's like, no, don't go. And like, blah blah, like whatever.
Were you stuck in City Place?
That didn't
No,
exist at that
I
time,
didn't.
probably.
No?
I-
No, yeah, it did.
Did it?
It
Okay.
did.
Did it?
Yeah, yeah, but just not the actual.
The full.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking closed neighborhood, stuck in a rut, doing
Oh.
a circle, the same places over and over, Wellington back.
It was the
Yeah.
same parties every night.
Just the same
Yeah.
parties.
Same people
and
doing the
I-
same
like,
parties
even
every
if I,
night at
like,
different clubs.
at that
Yeah.
time, I feel like I was like
Except for you guys.
on Richmond Row. I was like on John Street. Like I knew every place. Like I was
Yep.
like, you knew me. I was just bored. And then I was like, I think I'm gonna move to the States. And then she's like, just give it like 2 more months or something. She's
Let
I'm
it
like, yeah, I'm
breathe.
gonna give 2 more months. And so then I started applying for like random things, or like I like applied on this site on Style 9 to 5. That there was a bridal store.
It was on Style
pop-up.
9 to 5? Krista's?
Yeah.
Christie's?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Did
'cause
you ever tell her that?
No, I actually didn't. So
Oh my
sent
God.
me the link, and then I looked it up, and it was like a bridal pop up. I'm like, oh, whatever, because I love dresses, I love gowns, I love couture, like I love all that stuff. So I was like, great. I'm like, I would love to like be able to work with all that stuff. So let's do it. So I applied, and then 2 weeks later, we go on this date. So back to like the present story where I turned around and she's like, oh my God, it says for rent. So there's a store, and on the door, it had this postcard piece of paper, and handwritten in blue pen said for rent in capital letters,
Yeah.
and then the telephone number. And she goes, oh, it's probably, she's like, it's probably for the apartments upstairs because it would say for lease if it was business. Yeah. I'm like, just go call anyways. And she goes and calls, and I could see her.
Like I was outside, like in front of the store, and I'm on my phone.
Yeah, and I could see her face brightening up, and she's like that's all I could see. Like her face, like she's just grinning ear to ear.
All you're reading her lips. You're going,
Yeah.
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, great, great.
More importantly,
yeah,
how does she see this postcard size?
Because I fucking see everything
on a window in a door as you're driving by.
I see
You're
everything.
Asian, so you're probably
When
doing
I'm
80.
looking for something,
right?
I'm looking for something, you know? Yeah.
So then she gets back in the car, and for some reason tells me all this information.
Like for some reason, I'm like, oh my god, it's perfect, and I share. Well, not for some reason, because that's who I am. I'm a blabbermouth that way. I say everything.
Yeah, but
So-
it's like, but I didn't even know she was looking for a store. Like I didn't even know she was looking for a store. She didn't know that I wanted a store a year later. And for some reason, she didn't even say, oh, I've been looking for a store. She just goes, oh my god, it's perfect. It's this, and that. And I looked at her, I'm like, let's do it.
Yeah, and I was like,
I'm not
what?
telling you partner.
I was like, let's do what? And she's like, let's open a store together. And I'm like, what? Okay. Just like that. And I'm anti-partnerships.
Yeah.
So for me to even do that, and like that's what I do. Like, why am I going to do
clearly
with somebody
you flew
else?
Mexico. You flew
Oh,
right
yeah.
over there.
Yeah, but like legit, I
Duly
am so.
noted
I am-
Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, she's done it before. She doesn't need me. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and she's anti-partnerships. Like, she doesn't need.
I always
like,
believed if you don't need somebody's money and you don't need their talent, like what do you need them for? Because I've done it before.
Yeah.
What do I need somebody for?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Unless I needed financial backing, then sure I would consider a silent partner. But I'm also very type A and very controlling. I don't need your fucking input. I don't need your shit. I got this, you know? And so, but just like to be like, okay. And then with Angela, she doesn't trust anybody. She doesn't trust you boys at all.
That's amazing.
No, she does. You're all
Can't blame
innocent
her.
until proven guilty.
That's amazing.
And like, no, she doesn't. So for her to
fucking
even,
trust you.
that could come out of her mouth
Yeah.
is like, why would she even say that? That would
Yeah.
never come out of her fucking mouth. No, like she could be dating a guy for 5 years and him be like, let's get a house together. She might be like, yeah, okay. I'll get my own house. You can get your own damn house. You know, but with me, it's like, you know, she signed her life away to me like that. And literally, my house was 10 minutes from there. We were like, okay. Conversation started rolling. This is what we're going to sell. La, la. We had the name picked out, everything.
Yeah.
Within 7 days, we were at a bank, opening bank accounts, like the whole fucking nine. We're signing with our banker and we're laughing because we don't know each other's information at all. We don't know what's your last
What's your last
name. Like
name?
they're looking at us like you bitches are
fucking
cray.
crazy.
Full
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
We kinda
really.
are.
Yeah.
We are.
But like in
In
the
a good
best
way.
way.
In a good way,
Yeah.
Well, I was a single cray, not a cray cray, because it's more of a
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
cray.
yeah,
Cray, just cray is fucking loopy.
Yeah.
And so we had planned we invested a very, very little bit of money. And it was a very flexible lease. And that's why I was so excited at the beginning, because that's what I'd been hunting for the whole time. I didn't want a lease. I didn't want any roots here. I wanted to be able to be flexible. What if I didn't want to live here a year from now? I wanted to be able to get out of it. So it was a very flexible situation. And so we planned to do it for a year. Like, let's not string ourselves to each other.
The lease,
Like-
the sublease was for a year.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was
She
for-
wanted us to
it
sign
was
for a year. Okay.
yeah.
So they wanted to do year to
And
year.
I
you're-
guess.
The square footage.
You guys
of
in
That's
your
pretty good in
and the
Toronto.
10 minutes that you agreed to do this together whipped up a business plan.
No, we didn't need a business plan
That's
for
my
it, no.
point. So
Yeah.
you
No,
had a
we had a
year.
little bit of change, and that's it. That's all it took.
Because it was what it was. It was
Good.
like the rent was like we can both do it. Like for
Like
me,
you could do it
I'm
off your own salary. It was like no big deal. I did the
Yeah.
math. You sell a few dresses, rent is paid, no big deal.
Yep.
Like it was legit, no.
So
big
when you guys
deal.
opened up, how did you get the word out?
we hustled.
So
Which is the hustle.
Yeah,
Right.
we started. I started a Facebook page. We didn't have Instagram at the time.
Instagram wasn't around at the time,
It
or was very new, but it wasn't
but
like
it was very new and it wasn't popular at all.
yeah.
And to me, like I felt like it was just like some random like photo editing app that you just post on their app, and I'm like,
It
"All
wasn't
right,
the new
do that."
Facebook yet.
It wasn't yet.
There you go.
And so then we started a Facebook page, and we were like inviting all our friends, and then we're just like making this whole like hoopla, like about like you know,
Hyping
like
it up.
we're joining these two people are joining to opening the store, and we did a photo shoot with my sister-in-law to create images. Like we needed
Yeah,
some content, yeah. And so when we were doing that photo shoot, organically, I decided to throw on a mustache. And
For some random reason. Like,
oh
what
no,
chick
that
wants to wear
wasn't. No,
mustache?
that wasn't. Actually, this is what happened. I'm like, we're signing our life away. So I'm like,
Right.
essentially, these photos are
You're married.
Our wedding
our
photos.
engagement photos.
Yeah.
I remember
And so
those.
that was
We
like,
actually never released those photos, but we did do a bridal segment.
yeah, we
But
did.
they weren't good enough. Like, we didn't
An
end up
excuse to
releasing
put on a
those.
Remember
wedding
you
dress?
or you telling me
For
this?
sure.
Sorry?
I remember you guys telling me this a long time.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
yeah.
it was an engagement shoot, and so then, and my my sister-in-law is a photographer, and so I'm like, would you do this for us, blah blah, and so she's like, great, yeah, we'll do it, and so we went to her house and we like banged out like several different looks, and one of the looks I decided to like put on a mustache, and we were like totally like, I was guy, girl, and it was like, you know, this hot lesbian couple.
Yeah.
And then we were running with it, and then when we opened, I decided to do this like launch party, and we're counting down the days, and like we had the window like literally like 7 days away, like, you know, 4 days away, like a countdown. And then we had I was very fortunate enough to get the help of a lot of local DJs, promoters,
Yeah.
photographers, that I had met in the short.
I was gonna
span of
say, in your
time.
party scene, you went,
Yeah.
you dug deep, figured out
Yeah.
how to use it,
Yes.
utilize it.
So then, and they were willing to kind of like put like their hand in, like just help us.
Yeah.
And then we launched this party for pre-opening night, and then we like had this wedding cake, and it was like supposed to be like our like wedding that day, and
we actually had a lot of people come to this party you
yeah,
in.
yeah, it was like I to this day I'll be forever.
Were you at that
grateful.
party?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Me and George. That's
Yeah.
George introduced me to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day
That was
one.
So long ago.
Day one.
And I think
Yeah,
I
it's
met
over
George
4
out.
years ago.
Yeah. You did. Yeah, you did. Right. And you invited him to come to the party. And you told him, like,
Yeah.
you gotta see these girls. You gotta meet these girls. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I don't remember
Oh,
where I
great.
met him out, but I'm pretty sure I met George out somewhere.
And so that's what happened. And
Somewhere.
everybody just
Somewhere.
was like talking about it. You know, you
Yeah.
got to meet these girls, and like it was really like that.
Yeah.
We went
Yeah.
out, we were fun, we were different. You know, we're both not from here, so like nobody really knew who we were.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden we were like these new kids on the
You
block.
weren't around long enough to be pinned down either,
I think you guys brought
Yeah.
a different
as
energy.
far as the blabs concerned.
Yeah.
You brought a totally different type of energy.
Yeah.
Which people are like, fuck, where's this energy's great. Let's just feed off it any way we possibly can or whatever.
Kind of
it
like
is.
vampires, actually.
Absolutely.
And then we just hustled.
Some-
Like
That's
good
what
and
that
some
whole
wasn't
scene
good,
is, though.
you know?
Like, no one brings anything to the table. As soon as someone does, they leech
But the
off.
thing is with them is like that energy stayed with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it was gone, it's like we're gone and you guys do your thing. You can come and shop, but like this is our energy. This is
Stick
our
and move.
energy.
You did stick and move.
what's that?
That's when you don't stick around where the parasites steal all your energy. You kind of stick and move. You bounce in, you bounce out. You're here, you're there. Bring your energy to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the
Stick
goal.
and
Like
move.
we
You can
we
use that.
literally
Just
I mean when
organically.
you don't know anybody, you have to hustle. So every single person that walked through that door was a special guest, and we were like very honored to have them. So every girl we got to know her name, we got to know her story. They still shop with us, and that's how you do it. Anybody can open a business. You can open a business, try to sell some shit. It's not about that. There's so much more to
So are you
it.
guys relying on brand names, or are you guys doing a lot of your?
No.
Tell the
It's
story.
just
That's what I'm
random stuff.
asking.
Okay, yeah.
So are
it's
you
just
doing
young
designs?
contemporary. No. So it's just young contemporary, random, original stuff at a good price point. And so that's what it is. Our stuff is cool, fun, different, eclectic, but at an affordable price point. Anybody can go to Holt Renfrew.
Yeah.
Anybody can go to TNT and Intermix and all of these stores. Go to the mall, go to Zara, whatever. But not everybody can go and buy these cool, unique pieces that you see on the internet or you've seen versions of in the magazine, but are that 20 times the price. And that's the difference. It's very much, it's cool, it's hip, it's sexy. Like it's not just random clothes. It's stuff that makes every girl feel pretty and sexy and not break the bank. Like a regular girl can.
So
shop
a girl
with
can
us.
shop on the regular with you.
And girls do shop on the regular.
That's
That's
what I mean.
exactly it.
Because we all
You
know.
walk in the door and you're a lifer. Like you're there every week, every weekend.
Hey
Because you
girls,
can get a
what's
dress for
new?
$100.
I saved this for you. Boom,
Yeah,
pull it
we
out.
used to do that. Now we don't do stuff like that, but that's exactly what we did at the beginning.
Yep.
You know, and it's like we're messaging people, we just got this in, like all that kind of stuff. Now the volume is, you know, it's too much that we don't do things like that anymore.
Regular customers are
Um,
amazing to have, right?
But the one
And
thing
that's
that,
the thing,
like, we
everybody
practice
is a regular customer. So it's like we used to have, let's say it was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 10, and now it's like 100 regular customers. And yeah.
Clearly you're doing
This is
something
good.
right.
Well,
We're
the one
doing a
thing
lot
that
right.
we always train the girls, it's like, it's not just like, you don't just, you know, you style the girls. Like you don't just,
Yeah.
people come in, like you don't just like, you know, start a fitting room, fluff the racks, fold some clothes. Like, no, like help them style like the actual outfit. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times, like people will come in and be like, I need an outfit for this day, for this event. I need you to find me something.
Well, let's be honest. In present day, I was going to say these times, but it's present day. Everything kind of appears to be a cookie cutter image.
Right.
I don't know. Like, there's a uniform for King West. There's a uniform for Queen West.
Totally awesome.
There's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's such a uniform. And there's like, the 6 stores that carry the select brands.
Yes.
And somebody's got the left side of the brand stuff and the other side's got the right side,
Yes.
the sportier or the dressier.
Yes.
You know what I mean by that, right?
And then you have us.
I grew up in Barrie, and I used to manage a vintage clothing store. Used to do vintage picks, and the client base that we had for that, it did so well, was individual, right? So when I was picking, you pick for individuals, and you keep stuff aside, or you know what they're looking for. You get to learn your client base and your customers.
Mm-hmm.
You can always find a gem. So in your business, when you're doing your buying as well, or are you're looking for customers are looking for something unique, trying to bring it back. This is relative here, is that you get to know your clients. And when you're doing your ordering, you're not looking through the same magazines that everybody else is, or being told by the sales reps what you got to have to carry this line. You've actually got a store full of clothes that are what you think you like, or so you like, not think, and you know what your clientele is going to like.
Yes.
And there's the odd piece that you can get special order, whatnot, that certain clients are going to be into.
Yes.
And that's nothing like what you're seeing right now in a lot of the retail.
And we dictate trends. So like
That
when
was
we go
my
buying,
main
like I
question.
will pick stuff that it may not even be trendy and nobody's expressed interest, but I'm going to bring this in and we're
Put
going
it
to
together
style
and
it.
make it
And
style.
I'm going to tell you this is cool. And you're going to see it on and you're like, fuck, I want to wear that.
Or you're
I
gonna
want
show
to
them
look
that it's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And we show them because we take pictures,
There you go.
you know?
Which kind of pulls back to Instagram and how active you guys are on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you guys have a lot of success with that. Because Chad, I know, has brought up several times about TSOQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The strong queen.
Yeah.
So I had a question about based on, like, you took a huge risk going against the big H&Ms at that time, because as we know, as you guys know,
And current time.
and current time as
Yeah,
well too.
totally.
But you guys must have seen a lot of stores close. From
And they
Cup
still do
Lounge
all the
to, you know what I
time.
mean?
Do.
And you guys are existing. So what made you think, like, man, I'm not going to listen to this trend of what's going on Queen Street. I'm just going to do this thing. And what gave you that courage just to go out and do it? Because, like, you can say that was a massive risk, because people just say, fuck it.
It's
I'm just
not,
going to.
though.
It's not.
I've done it
No.
before. So it's not a risk. And one thing I've always believed, even with my first store, I opened in a recession.
Yep.
So,
Like 2008 or even before that?
oh, I'm so bad with years. But no,
2008,
like,
and then there was like
Okay, how long have you guys been?
2002.
How long have
we've
you guys been
here
open?
for 5 years.
So 5 years ago would
So,
be
oh,
2011.
exactly.
Longer than
Yes,
5 years.
2008. No, I've been here for 5 years.
What?
Yeah, so before that, so then I opened in
Your store in
8
Vancouver.
8 or
in
9 years
2008.
ago.
Yeah.
So that's whatever. Anyways.
Yeah.
And so, but I always believed that I would always succeed, no matter what's happening with economy and whatever. And we always will. Economy could fucking crash right now, but we will adapt and change. Even if we start selling, with the store molds into electronic accessories. Like I don't know what to tell you except for you evolve. And I believe that's why, like, when I go buying, and I know a lot of buyers from back in the day, and even a lot of reps that I still deal with, they deal with old concept. And so what we do is I prefer to buy in season currently, which is not the typical standard. You buy
normally
seasons ahead, which you may know this. And I've done that in the past, and I don't believe in that. It doesn't work with my
full
mind.
sales rack, right?
You know, yeah, exactly. You can't predict 6 months ahead. However, as a buyer, it makes your job a lot more difficult, like times 100, because you're like, I live on the internet and magazines, like my brain lives fashion every single day of.
So what are your favorite websites or like blogs that you guys visit? Get to know you in a bit outside of the business side of things. So like your clients
so
and people who are
certain things
listening,
like that I
they're
like
like,
to keep to myself.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
The
I guess
secret.
you're
For me,
trend research.
Like
I didn't even think of it that way.
like
I was just like, oh, what are your interests?
Yeah.
I like to go to wired.com, whatever. You know what I mean? That would be you, I guess.
Yeah, no. Well,
And Gadget.
Like, I totally, like, I'm always looking for the next app. Like, I'm always looking for like, newer ways that can make the daily operations more efficient.
Well, and you're
And keep
saying
up with
you're
the future, like the
Yeah.
current times,
yeah.
And like
electronically.
Yeah.
So you guys jumped on Snapchat right away as well, right?
No, we didn't jump on Snapchat right
So
away.
I don't know anybody who jumped on Snapchat right away. That's what I was
I
trying to
don't
find
I
out.
don't think a lot
I think
of
everyone
people
was like,
did.
"This is annoying."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't do
and
any of it. She does all
and
of
I
it.
still don't. I still don't. Snapchat's not really a selling media. Like you.
But it keeps your name in
It
rotation.
just, you know what? It allows people to feel even more connected with you.
Mhm.
They view it as like it's like a window to your personal life, and they see more personality. Like they see snippets of videos and they get to hear your voice and all that stuff. And since then, obviously, Instagram has started the live.
That's
their
crazy
feed or
that they did
whatever.
that.
But I think it's just the same concept because I think that Instagram's known to be this platform that you share beautiful photos. Like half of them are like very catered, like it's strategized, it's edited, it's filtered as you
A lot
would
of
say.
work put
There's
into
a
the
lot of
produced.
work produced
Yeah.
for this feed, right? And so a lot of it for us, I think what keeps us different is that there's personality behind it. We tell stories. There's an aspect of our personal life in there, and we talk about lifestyle and all that stuff. So
It's authentic, real, and current time, and that's
Yeah.
the difference.
and so then Snapchat with what I do it it's not I don't do it every day, but when we're doing certain things like this today, like I would obviously post about it, that people want to like know what we're doing. You know what I mean? Just like a little window of what we do.
So it's kind of like everyone gives up a piece of their soul a little bit more each time with the social media. That's kind of what I interpret it as. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm pretty active in a lot of things, but I don't have Facebook for
Yeah.
a lot of reasons. Everyone has their own reasons.
Yeah.
But it's funny enough, if you're not on Facebook long enough, it becomes untrendy anyways.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Facebook is for old people now, and Snapchat and Instagram is for more of a younger generation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, Snapchat is really young.
Yeah,
Sure.
and I can't even. It's not my thing.
Yeah, like I
Chat's
don't even
getting-
go on it. She showed me one time the videos. I was like, this is Snapchat? Because even the Instagram videos that people do, I find completely useless and boring. Like they're
Yeah.
just like so useless.
Mhm.
I've done a fair amount of public eye stuff through my years, and that's just one thing I don't get. It's the Snapchat thing. It's just
Mhm.
maybe I'm in my 40s now.
I don't get it
feel that
either.
old.
Yeah.
But-
She does it to keep relevant.
Yeah.
I get that, but just in conversation, it just feels like it's almost too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know
Remember
what?
when Instagram, when everybody started off kind of on Instagram, there was the whole trend of what you're eating every day.
But that's why they call us the
Totally.
electronic era, or
Yeah.
what is it?
Sure.
The E.
Always
the E-
online.
always
Instead of-
online.
Yeah, instead of checking in, hey bud, what's going on? What are you doing tonight, or what are you up to?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, just check the Instagram to see.
Yeah.
What, oh, yeah.
Well, don't get us wrong. Like,
kinda
even
crazy.
though we're all over social media, like that's not how we live our personal lives.
No, I'm just saying
You
in
know
general.
what I mean?
So
What?
you end up
Call
with
our friends and like all that stuff.
you end up having the dual lives, though. Is kind of what the end result is, right?
100%.
100%.
I do,
don't-
especially.
I don't think it's dual lives. I think it's more so of like if for our friends, like we would personally want to call them and like personally want to like catch up with them and like all that stuff.
Or meet up, or
Yeah, it's not that we like we're different people like in our personal lives we're via on social media. It's just a different way of communicating.
it's kind of interesting, though.
But I would say I definitely have a double life in certain aspects because I have to shut off. Like
I was
I
gonna
live
say,
this
like when you guys do your
24/7, so I have
business,
to go shut off.
yeah.
and, like,
So you're
be a real
up early.
person.
We were talking earlier. You're
Yeah.
up at your 6,
Yeah,
5:36, whatever you're doing.
Mhm.
yeah.
Your trainer and everything, and then you're opening your store, right? And then store closes at say 6 or 7, right?
No, it closes at 9, but we have staff.
Okay. So when you leave work, when the store closes eventually, and you kind of like you're decompressing,
Yeah,
From
social
running your
media doesn't
business,
die until we go to
you've got
sleep.
some stuff. That's what I'm saying. You got
Yeah.
some stuff you got to do, some paperwork, whatever, make a few calls, whatever your buying is, whatever. Kind of like, by 9:30, you could have a glass of wine, Netflix, and chill. Smoke a blind, do whatever, right? But not really anymore. Now you're like on Twitter, you're
Yeah.
on
Well, what's
everything
great
until
with
pretty much
her and
falling
I-
asleep.
I mean, what's great with her and I is that she wakes up way earlier. I sleep way later, so it's like we cover a lot of the hour of the day.
And that's what Chad was saying earlier. It's 3 in, and you guys
Yeah.
are posting
Doesn't
something.
matter.
It's 5 or 6, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
Something
3,
else.
Yeah.
2, 3 from me,
Yeah.
and then it's like
Right.
5, 6 from her. So it's like really just like that small window.
Almost a 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if we're completely shut off, we're with our friends. Like
Yeah.
if there's no posting at like 10 o'clock, it's like we're out with our friends, and it's like we're not looking at our phones.
That's what I was going to ask is how do you, with everything kind of extending the hours where it's almost 24/7 business, because
Yeah.
really, like you're giving up more of a piece of who you guys are and them getting more of your personal.
Yeah.
Is that like, where's where's the stop, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like when you ask for a little bit and you give them a little bit, and then they want a little bit more.
Oh,
It gets
yeah.
to the point where
Oh yeah.
at what
It's
time?
never enough,
like you
Totally.
turn servant to what you've created, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's interesting because a lot of people I've talked to that have businesses kind of like start to pass off their social media, and guys like Chad who specialize in that are able
I
to
can
help
do
them
that.
out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's different.
It wouldn't
It's
be the
different. I don't
same. That's a
suggest it,
completely
you know.
different
Yeah.
social media channel. Then there's absolutely no way.
I suggest that they don't. It's like it's like you can have a babysitter, but then there's no better time than you spending with your own child.
100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you should just do it, and like we'll teach you how to do it, but you
Commit-
should just do
commit
it
to it.
because
In
it's
this
you.
case, it would
You know
just
what I mean?
be it would be different.
Yeah.
Like, how does that even work? You know what I mean? It would be, it would really be different. And obviously,
Yeah.
we've thought about
Yeah.
these kind of things because in the future, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you can't
mean-
be a slave to social media.
Mhm.
You know, like you
Mhm.
can't. But so one day it's gonna have to happen. But like, how do you do it? How does somebody take my words?
Well, you guys are the
Yeah.
brand as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you prop up the store on Queen
Mm-hmm.
and your images. Eventually, over time, like if you have other ventures or like just want some time off, perhaps you have a
Mhm.
kid, whatever. You're married, you want to go on vacation, like So creating your brand and your association heavily with that, like it's kind of a bit of a confusing thing as well, right?
Mhm.
So how do you guys manage your private lives? Dating, boys, girls, dogs.
Well, they're
cats.
married.
There's
You
two
guys are
very
married.
different answers for that.
We are both single. And for me, I have yet to find somebody that I like. I don't think I've been in relationships. I just
Need a guy that challenges you.
No, it's not that.
See,
It's
I
not
thought I had the
that.
answer.
Mm.
It's
You're out of luck,
difficult.
Chad.
I think it's difficult dating somebody that is on social media. I think because as much as you can tell a person not to look at it and base your
Judge it from that,
relation,
yeah.
like you as a person on social media, it's very hard. I
Yeah.
think because it's we've been trained to think that social media or what you see is reality because it's like, oh, don't believe it until you see it, right? So it's like what you see is reality. So it's like, on social media at times, like I always tell people I don't work because I'm like, she's all on it a lot more than I am. So I'm like, yeah, I don't work. I'm never. That's like the running joke. It's like I'm not there, essentially, right? So I think that A, it's difficult, and B, I don't know if I am. I don't know if I have the personality to be in a committed relationship
What does that even mean?
for like a long term,
What does that
like
even mean?
marriage material. I'm so like, yeah, she's
That-
like the wife, and she trains me to be a wife. Kid you not, she'll
I
admit
try.
to it.
But you're very girly.
It's
I
Portuguese
am.
in there.
I am.
Yeah.
But in my
I'm a total
mentality
I have a few Portuguese friends that are
is
very much
very
like-
masculine. For sure.
What's that? Sorry, I missed that.
He's like, I'm very girly. I'm like, I am, of course. Like,
You're a tomboy to me.
I'm a girl.
That's I
but
see you're
That's what
totally
you
a
just said.
tomboy.
Really?
Are you?
That's what you
Yeah,
said.
you are. You're a tomboy for sure.
That's a good
Totally.
eye.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said you're very girly and he said tomboy.
No,
Yeah,
Perspective wise, I guess.
no, just interaction.
because she's
We've
right.
had eye
He's
contact,
right.
so she's
Yeah.
she won't look away. She's
Well, you're
on
both very
point.
girly in your own ways, right?
Well,
No,
thank you.
You're women-
I
women-
guess
women,
I'm
it's
like girly times 500.
yeah, she's
compared
girly
to
times
her.
like 500.
Like you don't get more girly. I'm girly in every way you can imagine.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
You
So-
embrace
Except for I'm
every
super
aspect.
type A and I'm super bossy. Like I'm
Oh, they
like
fuck
boss
you
You
too.
control. Do
lady.
you need to control everything?
But yeah. But, yeah.
So your men, you need
I've
to control.
had
Do you need
to
to control
manage
your
that
men?
because I have a partner.
Mhm.
But because we're very different, I still
Yeah.
get to control all my shit, and she controls her shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, but not personally. Like with a man, I don't
You
want
sure?
to control
You
everything.
sure? You sure?
I'm sure.
And is there a break point?
What do you mean?
So decisions have to be made. You're making decisions.
No.
No,
At home?
I think
No,
Finances.
she's very traditional. that way.
No, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
old
So this is a
school. Like I
Portuguese
may
thing.
not look it and act it a lot of the time. I'm very old school. Like I like want to take care of him. I want to do all the like lady stuff, and he can do all the man stuff. I don't want to even like. I'm a boss every single day.
Mm.
I don't want to do
A
it. at
woman
home.
runs a household anyway, so you don't need to broadcast it. Every woman. Sorry, this sounds ridiculous. I just
Okay.
realized what I just said. Every woman, in tradition, is sorry.
Yeah,
A woman runs the household actually,
yeah. So in
and it's kind of like without. It's
unspoken.
yeah, that's what I
Yes,
was. Sorry.
traditionally, not in
It's
2016.
unspoken. Yeah,
you see a
now
lot
you
of
have to put
younger
a sign
girls.
up, and you got to
Yeah.
Snapchat,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a broadcast thing, but in tradition, it's kind of unspoken.
Yeah.
And the man knows his role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that, like, I like a man to know his role and, like, definitely take care of me. Like, in our dynamic, she definitely is the man and will take care of me. Like, we go to the airport, she checks us in. And, like, I've dated men where I'm
awesome.
still the boss at home with that, and I don't want that. I want my man to be the man. I'm always taken care of. I'm always safe. If the car breaks down, I'm sitting there. I'm pretty. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
And he's taking care of all of it. No, and that's how it should be, and that's even our dynamic. Like, that's...
You putting the tires on?
You are.
Oh, straight up.
You're
Oh,
calling
no, I could even
BMWs?
get
Don't
this.
pick
I
this
could
shit
get out
up.
and try to help, and she'll be like, no, baby, sit down. Get back in the
Pass me
car.
the CAA
When
card.
it's snowing out, I will go to, like, scratch the thing, and she's like, get in the car, baby. I'm going to do it.
Serious.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And you like doing this?
Are you Korean?
For
Do you have a
her,
Korean
but
background?
No.
No, but here's the
This
This is
Yeah.
very motherly too,
I
though.
don't-
At some
I
point, this
don't-
is.
I also want a man that like tells me what to do and like, you know, puts me in place and like all that stuff. But as a single girl, like I can do all that stuff myself. You know what I mean?
So it's pretty
And I
intimidating.
can.
For your
I
average
can
dude,
do it.
That's why
I
we
don't
take
want
for your
care
to.
of
average guy in
In
Toronto,
essence, you
it'd
wanna
be
be
pretty
taken care of.
intimidating
Yeah.
because
A man
guys are
should
pretty
do that,
soft in
though.
the city.
Hence
From
why
what-
we're
from
both
what-
single.
Can
I've been
we
single for
get-
5 years.
Can you repeat that for
What
a
do you
second?
say? What do you say?
Damn.
What is
And
that?
for
Guys,
a
we
guy
know
in
this. We talk about
Toronto,
this.
can
And
be
we have
pretty
women
intimidating.
Are we
that are
talking about
from-
guy talk now?
No,
No, we're not.
Repeat
We're not.
what
We-
you
we-
just said.
See what Dana tells us that guys are soft and they're pussies. Dana, and that guys can't handle themselves. Well, whatever. You know what I mean? And yeah, guys are just soft in the city. We know this because we've
Yeah,
been
they're
told this many
pussies.
times. Right? They're not
I
men.
get-
They're alpha. They're beta. They're beta. They try to be alpha, but they're
There's a
really,
lot of
really beta. They
guys-
don't, I don't know what it is. We can get into
They'd
this, but, like,
rather. I
Or
don't know.
maybe they're alpha,
They're not.
but they just can't handle a woman who even comes close.
Then they're not alpha.
they're not alpha.
And they're not
I guess
alpha.
so,
No.
yeah.
Sorry.
Beta, that makes them beta
Yeah,
automatically.
I guess
You're
so.
not the captain of the football team,
Yeah.
but you're not the captain because there's
I
another
guess.
captain.
Because the other guy's
Right.
Do you know what I
talking.
mean?
You know what I mean?
Just because the other guy's
Right.
louder or something.
Yeah, it's
like,
just because he's
okay.
the captain, but you're the captain. No, you're
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
captain. He's the
He's the
captain.
captain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean
So
he's in
funny.
charge. It's just elected the captain. You
Yeah.
either are or you aren't.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, it's
So men step closely. You know, they
Yeah.
come, kind of knock. But that little knock doesn't do shit. Doesn't get our
Yeah.
attention.
You gotta rattle a cage.
You gotta straight up rattle that shit. You know, you
The
gotta
cage,
tell us
right?
who's
Rattle the cage.
boss. You know,
no, seriously.
straight up, yeah.
Okay, so tell me some funny stories. Not me.
Yeah.
Tell us some funny stories. We heard about your business. We heard how you guys first started dating. Now that you guys are married.
Mm-hmm.
Any divorces? You guys taking family trips?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
We
do you
take
guys go-
anniversary
do you guys go-
trips. We do incredible
We
things.
like
Do you go
yeah.
on trips looking for
She's taking me
styles
away.
and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, we go
My
buying
birthday.
and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
LA.
So tell us about it. Because people
Well-
would like to hear about it. I pulled your
Well,
other
we
teeth.
travel
Give me
and
these-
go buying, but the rest of it is like
Oh, trade secret.
It's yeah,
How about this? Do you go to the States?
of course.
Have you ever been to Europe?
Yes, we
They have
just went to
clothes there?
Greece.
We went to Greece.
Oh my God, you went to Greece? You give away a secret.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our Greece trip was.
Where'd you guys stay?
We
Any Greek?
rented
How did you like
luxury
Greek men?
homes.
They're traditional.
I was in
grabby.
heaven.
She was in heaven.
No, for the first time in Mykonos,
Oh,
I was
you were in
surrounded
Mykonos?
by all of my type. I sat there and I was like, oh my God, Bava's man here times 500.
Yeah.
They were all European. I like older men. They were all European, mature, well-dressed, and gorgeous.
Heavy eyebrows, lots of big eyebrows.
Tanned.
Tanned.
Tanned is the
That's
most
the thing.
important thing.
Tanned and well-dressed. Yeah,
Tanned.
yeah.
Someone needs a tan, man.
You like olive men?
Me?
Yeah.
No, you know
Just
what?
Olive
have a
skin.
type.
I don't really
That's
have
tan.
a type.
Except for she likes younger.
I don't really have a type. I'm generally
You guys
attracted
taking
to
notes
younger.
here or what, guys?
I know.
See, we're trying to hook some brothers up. But I don't know if anyone's taking notes.
Oh, bring it. None of them are going to come.
Yeah,
Trust
bring
me.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sounds like a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those guys.
Yeah, I generally am attracted to younger.
There you go.
I'm not sure why. Because
Because you get to boss them around. Next.
No, it's not. No, I definitely don't want to boss nobody around.
So listen,
Yes,
tell us about your ideal man.
he's funny.
Is he
He's
younger?
intelligent. Age doesn't really matter.
You just finished
But
saying,
so
holy
far,
fuck.
you
So
you
far.
do
You just
trend.
finished saying you
Any
like
guy
younger
no,
guys.
listen,
January,
I've
In
never even
January?
seen you being attracted to anybody over the age of 35. I've not once even heard you say he's even handsome. Nothing.
What are you talking
like,
about?
no.
There's a lot of handsome
And-
older guys out there.
For me, I'm saying she's not
Oh.
attracted. Like, it's just like when I look at somebody under 40 and I'm like, oh, baby. I don't even know what to do with you. You a baby. And
Oh, you're
she-
like mama then. You're like, mama's going to take care of you.
Yeah.
No, and it's like I think it's like because person like I'm maybe I'm not looking for like something serious.
That's what it
I'm
is.
like, I'm okay just to kind of like.
Or it could be you haven't found anybody because you've been looking for young dudes.
I don't look for
No,
them.
she has found
Fucking busting
people.
balls. You know
Let's
what that
hold on
means?
for a
Busting
second.
balls.
She has found people. She has dated and she has had boyfriends.
Oh, I imagine. Of course.
Yeah. Well, not of course. I haven't.
What?
No.
Oh, God.
Anyways.
Sounds like a complaint now. Are you complaining? You should be.
Well, I'm not satisfied. So, you sure? But anyways, back to you.
Yeah. I date, but yeah, like and yeah. So I guess I haven't dated anybody that was like. I think Max is like 3 years older or 4 years older. 4 years older would be like the oldest I've ever.
And you're in your late 20s. So this guy's in
She's
his...
30 now. She's
Okay.
turning 31.
Oh, I wasn't going to ask your age.
It's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
A girl doesn't ask another girl.
I'm Asian. I'll forever look like I'm like 25.
Yeah, there you go.
Really?
Good genes.
Wait, you should open a store, Forever 25.
Yeah. 25, seriously. No, seriously.
That was a good one.
I bet you any
Yeah.
money for
Sweet.
21.
You should trademark that shit. Straight up.
So
But yeah, he needs to be intelligent,
I hope so.
and clever, and charming,
Oh, God, that's
and
a lot.
resourceful.
Take your notes, boys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I think those would be,
Resourceful
like,
what? Be able to pull a lighter out if he doesn't smoke? Got a
Fix
jackknife
the
in the
car.
back pocket?
No.
Fix a car, like
Figure it
all
out.
that shit.
It's
I
Figure it
can.
out.
I can. I'm asking
But I
for
think
input from someone.
the one thing that
Because
people
she can
miss-
figure everything out.
There's a
So
workaround
he
for
needs to be able to be
there's a
stronger
workaround
than
for
her.
everything, right? There's a workaround for everything.
Yeah.
But there's a time and place for to go the proper route for things.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
Quality control,
Yeah.
Yeah.
essentially. Correct? Input?
Sure.
There you go. On command, right?
He just needs to be very manly, very confident, very sure of himself.
So tell me a
And-
good date story then for both you guys. You each got one good date story you can share?
Not really. I don't really.
What do you
I don't
mean,
really
not
date
really?
because I don't.
Is it a
date.
trade secret?
You had a date that I saw on Facebook because I follow you, and you dressed up and you got all ready for this dude.
What's up with her?
and
Everything's a trade
That's where it
secret.
ended.
You cut him off?
Nope, that's all the
you
story
make him
was.
pay
She was
for
getting
dinner?
ready for this date with this guy, and you put it on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me?
And there was one with a girl that you're. I'm not sure if you guys were friends or whatever have you, but you got ready for this girl to go out because she asked you out. We're in the month of October right now, so it might have been even 3 weeks ago.
And I got already
Yeah.
Wait a second.
And
How
then
does
she
Chad
said-
know more about your
Because
social?
I'm on their social
because I
media.
read it. I write.
Oh,
I'm very, very open and transparent. I talk about
or
everything.
you lie a lot.
Never.
because-
I don't know
No,
how
she
to
talks
lie.
about-
Because
She
this
talks
is
about
the
her
story.
family.
There's a story behind both of them.
I'm the one who doesn't
I just
talk
don't
about
remember.
The guy was interested.
The guy was interested.
Yeah, it was interesting because you were taking a kind of a risk with him.
Did
But
you
got
write this all
rest- but
down?
You got like kind of like this. You learned all this, but you got ready for this guy.
And then I canceled, or
No, you went out.
oh, I got ready for this. Guy.
So then, when the last guy that you dated?
Well, I haven't really dated.
No,
Oh my
No.
so you're not
God.
telling us here.
No, I'm trying to recall.
Easy
what
there,
he talked
Hillary.
About. Got all ready
Yeah, you got over it.
for a
Or
guy?
maybe it's because the image. I don't know.
But I do also say date night when it's with my girls.
Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, like I say date night. Like her and I could be going out. I'll be like, oh, it's date night, and like
Because
her
they're
and
married,
I.
right? You guys are married.
Because
Because I
so
like
it
really
makes sense.
don't really date like at all.
Mm.
Yeah, like I could maybe go out for dinner with a guy like once every 6 months, maybe.
Wow.
Like I don't go out with randos. I don't like.
I'm the one who dates. I just
I
don't
really
talk about
don't
it.
date.
You date, but you don't talk about.
So you
it.
live
Yeah.
vicariously through her dates.
Right, currently, no. Currently, I'm like,
Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
Oh, and social media.
pardon?
Yeah,
social
I guess
media.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So here we
Yeah,
go.
it was awesome.
Damn.
I thought you were the
But I'm
only
not on
person.
Tinder anymore. We weren't as
Did they kick
popular
you off?
then.
We were,
Did he tick me off?
No, I said, did they kick you off? Why aren't you on Tinder?
Well, we're a little too popular now.
Oh.
No, I could not be on Tinder.
Was
that
this
was
back
like,
then? What do you mean?
well, this
Wait,
was
wait
like
a sec,
maybe
what?
2 years, not back then, but
3
like
years
our
ago, I would
popularity
say.
has rapidly grown
Yeah, so you
recently.
cannot
Like
do
we
it,
can't
yeah.
we'll go anywhere without people not knowing us, like anywhere.
Yeah.
And so that was, it was really, I would say at like the very
Beginning.
start of like the massive popularity.
Mm.
We were still in our old location. So this is over 2 years ago then, almost 3 years ago.
And you're just like, fuck it, I'm trying Tinder.
Yeah, I went on
Ducked it
yeah,
out.
totally.
And
Totally.
boom.
And I actually met, they were all great guys. I ended up meeting up with 3 guys. I didn't have sex with all of them, but.
At what?
But it was good. They were like great guys. Like I have nothing wrong with it. Like people have all these weird Tinder stories, but it was great. Like
Did you have
they
any
were
repeat
nice and,
business?
Yeah, one of them, yeah.
Ooh, almost a boyfriend?
No, I wasn't interested in any of them.
Oh, dear.
I'm really particular. Like, I know what I want. I'm like, that's why I don't date around. I could meet you once. You could ask me out. I'm not even I won't even go for dinner with you because I already just don't feel it.
You're not vibing.
And I don't make time for that. I don't have time. I don't make time. I'm not interested. I don't need a free dinner, as girls say it. I don't need the fucking entertainment. You know what I mean? It's like,
I've heard from a lot of guys that's what Tinder is.
What?
It's like free dinners. Free
It's half of Toronto.
Yeah, it's compulsive.
So many girls are like this. And like, for starters, dinner. I don't need you to pay
You're
for my
not one of those
dinner.
girls, though, are you?
No.
It's a good thing.
No.
See,
I just bought a guy dinner tonight that I wasn't even at.
What?
It was his birthday, and I called the restaurant ahead and paid for his dinner.
That's
and I'm not even there. I wasn't even invited. But yeah, we're just
apparently
not like
she's got some interest in this guy.
Yeah, a little.
Clearly.
She's messing with her hair right now. The people that
girls do that. Girls apparently do that when they're like.
Hey, usually don't give away the trade secrets.
Yeah. You already know this.
You can't even know about your shopping, but you want to know about his secrets.
You know this already, my man.
Why is she leaning into you too? Oh,
crossing the legs towards you, all that stuff.
Away from me, thank God.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Chad's zoning in.
I'm in on this.
I've noticed he's slouching a bit. He's angling.
The beer.
So
I have a date tonight anyway, so I must.
Apparently you do.
You're coming along too. She's hot. She's super hot. She's stunning.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah. No, she's good. She's good.
What? Dating?
Yeah, I don't date.
So see, interesting. I say this all the time. Why don't you date?
He does not date. He does not date.
Yeah, so what do you mean by that when you don't date? Because like I say that too, and now I'm like, I think I need to.
I just meet people. I'm very social.
Okay.
I was a promoter for 20 years, so I know a lot of stereotypical people. You run into people, so you know people over the years, and I know a lot of people, and just you meet people. Like we're meeting now. You either get it or you don't. I'm not gonna.
That's how I am. I either get it or I don't.
You vibe or you don't vibe, and I'm not gonna sit through a dinner or something. Because to be honest with you, I'd rather go do something else. I have a fucking awesome dog. I'd rather go hang out with.
Yeah, me too.
I could text Chad.
You know go to the gym, cook, hang out with friends.
You know what I mean. I'd rather go. I could totally be crushing it at the gym. Then I don't have to go later.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it.
It is, but it's hard if you want to like be with somebody. Like maybe you don't, but like I actually do. Like I am meant to be a wife. I am meant to be a lover.
Sounds like you're meant to be an entrepreneur to me, and a wonderful wife too, hubby.
Yeah, but you know,
she's happy.
Some girls need a man too.
She's definitely like what you talk about all the time. It's like, you know, like for her, she needs to fulfill her soul. She needs to like.
Love a man.
You loveth over, so you need someone else to pour all that love into.
Yeah.
You loveth over, see?
Yeah.
You don't need anything, you just have so much to give.
Yeah, no, not need.
It's spilling over.
It's not a need. I'm very content on my own, but yeah, no, it's that. I have so much to give. I want to make a man feel like a king.
Okay, give me a good story then. Give me a good Halloween story. What's your best Halloween costume?
I don't do Halloween.
No? What are you dressed up like this for then? It's Halloween tonight.
Excuse you.
I'm fucking with you.
This is a regular day. I don't do Halloween. I've actually only done Halloween once. Our second year here.
Is that a Vancouver thing or West Coast thing?
I've dressed up every day of my life since I was like 5. So Halloween, for starters, I've always thought it's just an excuse for girls to be naked.
Slide it up.
I'm naked every day. I get to take pictures. I start Queen Street in a bikini. No, but it's true. And I mean, he knows this.
He knows this.
Oh, I don't follow my Instagram.
Do you walk up and down?
Oh, actually, I do have you on Instagram.
Whatever I'm just feeling at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're a live one then?
Yeah.
Do you get to tape all this or take all the pictures?
I guess so.
Do you have a bikini as well?
She goes topless.
Topless in the store?
And makes pasties. Oh, not in the store. Sorry, I missed that part.
I thought you said your opening of the store, you were in a bikini.
Oh, no. We did work in swimwear one day, though, at our old store because we didn't have air conditioning. And so we put on swimsuits and we worked at the store in bathing suits. Yeah, legitimately.
It was so hot.
Yeah.
God, that was a day.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even let people try on clothes because they get sweat on them. You're just like, buy it or don't.
Oh, no, we do. We did. Of course we did.
That would have been a trip and a half.
Yeah.
Was that last summer or this summer?
No, that was 3 years ago. Yeah.
So I guess you have no plans for Halloween?
No.
Do you, dear?
Tonight.
There you go. That's, well.
Try to throw something together.
Tonight is Halloween night, I guess, for most people going out.
Yeah.
But Monday's Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Monday is, yeah.
Well, that's an industry night, so you might go out that night then.
No. I've like slowed down. I've slowed down a lot.
Be careful. You don't
Yeah.
want to end up Netflix and chill every night.
No, I'm not.
Netflix and chill is fun
It's
if
a
you
great-
have a
Wait,
Yeah.
Netflix
hot, warm body beside you.
or some edibles.
Or some edibles.
Mhm.
There you
I'll
go.
take a leg of a gummy bear and some
I'm so
Black
excited.
Mirror.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
So excited.
I think that's good. What do you think? Do you guys have anything else you want to say? Because Chad,
I want to know about you doing a fashion line. Did you think about it? Have you thought about it? Is something in the plans for the future?
For the store?
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah,
Well,
I
the
mean,
label's there. It's
yeah,
branding.
no,
It's-
totally. We
it's
talk
a
about it all the
staple.
time. But it's like that requires like a lot of
you
another
gonna-
whole department.
or you should like reissue some Choose Life T-shirts with a little spin on it or something.
We
like
did
that.
do. We did like we printed T-shirts, like things that were quite easy.
Yeah.
But like to produce an actual line and like all that stuff, it's like that takes a lot of work.
You're not going to do it.
Probably
Or
not
not in the
anytime
mindset.
soon.
Mhm.
You know.
So what's your
Um,
creative outlet then? Other than just dressing up, helping other people with their style?
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
just like asking,
Yeah,
like, what could it be?
I mean,
Drawing? Do you go home and draw? Do you have your wedding dress
But
that you've drawn
our
out?
everyday
Or her
life
wedding
is a
dress? Did you
creative
draw it?
outlet.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every day, you know, we create things. We create beautiful images.
Yeah, for sure.
We create words. We create stories. You know, right now she's creating our editing
Pin
our last
party.
image, our last photo shoot. She's
Yeah.
creating a
I
fabulous
did a
lingerie
coursework.
party.
Oh, there
Like
you go, lingerie
every day
party.
is a
We
creation.
do.
There
Yeah.
you go. So
Every
that's what I was
year we
asking
go,
because
yeah.
I know of her creative background through school
Yeah.
and the reason why you left because I was listening to your story. You were at the restaurant the restaurant industry.
Mhm.
It's because you wanted to be more creative and express yourself and
You know
find
what
yourself,
it was?
right?
It was not so much of like I wanted to create more because then
like
I
Ben
was,
being creative.
I was doing the same thing as I do now. Like I create images. I create our prints. Like we did a lot more prints at the restaurant than here.
Yeah.
Like you know those little cards, like little post-it things, like or whatever. And like now we don't have those like a lot. Like, we don't have the prints. But for me, it's like
so you don't have as
we
many
do-
takeaways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I do the post work for our creative shoots that we do monthly. And so it's like I still do a lot of that work, but it's more so me like doing what I loved because the restaurant business wasn't my passion, even though I love food.
Yeah.
But it's different. Like you're essentially running like 3 different businesses. You're manufacturing you're producing the good, you are selling the good,
Yeah.
and there's service.
And you're retailing,
Yeah.
which is a service.
So
side.
it's like there's 3 things that you it
Excuse
just
me.
took a lot of me. Whereas retail, it's a lot easier, even though it's not easy at the store. But it's a lot easier to compare it to the restaurant industry.
So do you guys have any goals outside? Like, do you want to do your own magazine? Like, do you guys have a blog?
It's world domination, but I told her
Sounds like
that-
you guys are very ambitious. That's kind
yeah,
of
it's
why I'm
world
like,
domination. But
That's the
I tell
hard
her-
thing is we want to do everything. There's only 24 hours in a day. and
However,
7 days in a week.
you guys are both have enough business acumen to understand that you need to have your business side kick in and have some management, put some people in charge of tasks.
Well, now we have
Totally.
22 staff.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So
We
you
have
guys are on the
managers.
ball.
We have warehouse managers.
But
There you
finding the
go.
right
Our payroll
people
is intense.
is difficult.
So are you guys looking to franchise maybe or
We have things in the works.
okay?
Yeah.
I have someone
But it all legally takes time.
understood.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
So I just keep asking for trade secrets.
Yeah.
Do you have any other secrets you can share then? Because you can't give any trade secrets.
Really, it's like it's really just we want to do a lot of things, but we talk about this all the time. Is that our next venture could potentially be a coffee shop. It could be like a spa. It could be
A
it
coffee
could be
shop spa with clothing?
essentially anything. Because at the end of the day, it's like we can figure it out, and we will be successful doing whatever it is.
It could be a gas
Like, it's
station.
not
I always use that as an example.
Yeah, gas station.
Like Angela
whatever.
coined it really good one time. She said, we are opportunists. Like when the opportunity is there, we evaluate, assess, and attack. If it's,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's how I've operated, and how I've launched my
just like she saw the
business.
opportunity with me.
Opportunity.
Okay, last
There,
question.
it's there.
Last question. I
Yeah.
heard what you said, not to cut you off.
Okay.
The party's starting upstairs.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Trump or Hillary?
Oh, I don't follow
God.
politics at all.
Sure
I don't
you
even
do.
watch
You
the
know-
news. I don't.
You know, it's
Not an explanation, just one or the other. I don't care.
it needs it. There,
No, it
there
doesn't.
needs to
You're
be
gonna say
a,
There is,
Hillary.
though.
yeah.
If you say
There
Hillary
needs-
just because she's a
Hillary.
girl,
She's
No,
not going to. There's no way in
no.
heaven's name somebody said.
yeah,
it doesn't matter. We're
yeah.
Canadian. I just want to see if I can get a
Totally.
reaction.
I personally think Hillary. And if you don't need an explanation,
I don't at all. I was
won't
just,
get it, but
I thought it was kind of topical because the election's coming
What's
up.
the, what's the explanation?
I think
She says she wants to go personally with Hillary, but there's a side of you that's feeling Donald Trump, and I understand. I think I know where you're going with this. Like,
I think that like I respect him as a
because he's the same way. You're the same way. I'm pointing you right the fuck out.
Point me
Go
out
ahead,
for what?
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, what?
He's
It's
the
gotta
exact
be-
same way. Go ahead.
I just say in life, the older you get, the more you realize that how the value of truth,
Yeah,
right? Because
Yeah.
you waste time, which we can't replace.
totally.
And once you start dealing with lies and having to double check and multitask just to keep track of a lie
Totally.
and dig into, you know what I mean? You deviate. It's kind of like
Totally.
that's the plan, is to deviate you from your task
Yeah.
when it oppresses you in one way or another.
Yeah.
Plus, you can't fulfill yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for liars anymore. And she's clearly a liar. It's not me making it up. It's pointed out continuously.
Mhm.
Therefore, I don't have time for her. Trump makes mistakes. He admitted to them.
Mhm.
And I can appreciate that. I respect it. Don't agree with what he said. However, he's a business guy. So I get that. So if I had to make a choice, which I don't, it would be Trump. And that's why I was kind of wanted to end it on that. Is that, like, you know, what's your thoughts? Just we're Canadians, because it really doesn't matter to us.
Totally.
But it does. It matters
I
a
was
lot.
gonna say it all matters.
Hold on, it
Of
matters-
course it does.
It matters a lot
Oh my God.
because it's globalism versus
Even
nationalism.
us directly, we
Yeah.
deal business with the U.S. every
I
fucking day.
I fully get that.
90% of our
Yeah.
expenses are through United States.
Here's a
It
question.
matters.
Yeah.
Here's
for
a
sure,
question.
for sure.
Yeah.
It does, yes.
That dollar.
However, I have a question
Straight
for you.
up.
If you got to go to the corner
The
store, if you're
NAFTA.
going to buy
Mhm.
something, which is the worst deal ever, if you want to buy something, say you got to go to a hardware store.
Yeah.
You got Canadian Tire, you got Rona, you got Home Depot, and you got Lowe's. Which one are you going to go to? Canadian Tire is a Canadian
I would say
company.
Canadian Tire. That would
Rona-
be my first, but I
Rona
don't really
is-
go.
I
Rona's
actually
a
none of
Canadian.
them.
Rona's
Well,
best.
if you had to go to,
Lots you go to.
Yeah, we go to Rough
okay, so
A Rob
yeah, I
Lots.
know Rob Lots is awesome.
Yeah.
But my point is this,
Local, man, local.
which is to my point. Hold on, Home Hardware is Canadian, Rona's Canadian.
Yeah.
And Home Depot's American and Lowe's is American.
Yeah.
So if you had to go to any of those four, which one would you go to?
I personally, if it's not Ross, I go to Home Hardware
Why?
because it's Canadian.
Which makes you a nationalist.
What do you
That's a
mean?
city podcast. Thanks for coming. It does.
Yeah.
You're a nationalist. You don't care what the best price is or what the best deal is. You're shopping at a Canadian store because you want to support a fellow Canadian.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're a nationalist. That's what it is.
Cool.
That's when you boil it down to the basics.
Mm.
It doesn't mean you hate the rest of the world. It means
No,
you want to
yeah.
support your local community, just like you want to go to Rob Lots because it's in your community and you want to support it. Kind of,
so funny.
all the other
Yeah.
rhetoric just muddles the water. When you have
It's so
sand
funny,
and
we
water,
don't do anything like that either. We don't buy or do anything based on the best price.
No, totally.
No.
Nothing.
I'm the
We
same
don't
way. I
vacation
show
like that.
local.
We don't eat
Yeah.
like that.
You guys are-
Anything is
you
based
guys
on
are
price.
you guys are based on a local store and people come and see you to support you
Yeah.
versus going to H&M
Mhm.
or other stores. We're not going to give anyone else a free promo because they want to support you guys because you're local, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you can find a product that's made in Canada versus imported, and it's only $1 more or something like that, and you can make it work, you know what I mean? Are you going to buy that product to sell it in your store to support local?
Yeah, but unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
I know.
We would, yeah.
It's not.
And the product.
And
is
the
not
reason
same,
why is
styles aren't the
because of-
same.
NAFTA, where the government subsidized stuff to be shipped here. That's why it comes so cheap.
Mhm.
Shipping containers are being sold for half the price
Mhm.
It's true.
because the
Totally.
government
No, but
subsidizes
not even price.
No, the actual
Canadians
containers.
don't. No, but I just mean my point was Canadians don't produce the merchandise.
Oh, I know.
Not because they can't manufacture it here crosswise. The style, none of it. Like
Yeah.
there's Canadian designers, and we do support a few for sure, and some have become our best friends.
Besties?
But the styles, yeah. But the styles.
You know
and
what?
stuff, it
Only
just
if you
doesn't
guys
happen.
knew a designer that could take that input of what you're looking for and apply it.
Of course they can.
I know.
Yeah, of course they can. We just
Mm.
we've done little
Mhm.
capsule things. We've done our own swimwear collection. We've done all of these things. But
Wait a
we
second.
are,
Is that a trade secret?
but we're not ready to. It takes a lot of time, and so we just haven't made the time. Baby steps. We've been chasing this company for a long time. It has grown faster than we've been able to follow with
Yeah,
it.
which is
we've
amazing.
had to make do, right? And so, but we have flatlined a little bit now with our great team, and we have a lot of more better professional operations in place that have allowed us to step out a little bit and tighten up some of the bigger picture and some more of the operations, where soon in the near future, I think we will be able to facilitate some of those wants and desires that we have. But before, it's impossible. There's no fucking way, you know, but now it's we have caught up a little bit with the pace and been able to manage it a little bit, that we will then be able to start doing those things. But
So
we know what to do and what
you
can
run,
do.
right?
No,
Yeah,
totally.
but we were
And that's what
forced to run.
Yeah.
Like we were forced to fly.
Yeah.
We've been like flying.
What
the
a
whole time.
horrible problem to have.
I know, it is amazing,
No, but-
and there's no complaints. It
You have
isn't-
so much
we're
sympathy. We're going to
very
get so many
fortunate.
sympathy emails over this.
Yeah, we are very
Those poor
fortunate and
girls.
very, very blessed. But it's hard when you have two very ambitious people that, you know, people ask this question, oh, do you want to open a store? Yeah, fuck yeah. We know we could have had a store 3 years ago, but there's only 2 people here, and we have to train people and do things, and you know,
Up
we
to your
also
standards.
live, we travel on vacation, and we
Yeah.
also
Live our life,
zen out
yeah.
in life, and there's all of these things, and it, you know, we're already like running around with our heads cut off as it is. But it's getting less and less. It
So
is
you're
getting
going to
less
have to
and
get up
less.
earlier and earlier just to go to the
Exactly.
gym.
Like people ask me.
Hey, it's 4 a.m. What's this till? I was at the gym.
Yeah. No, like actually.
I had a meeting at 6. I had to get in there.
Like now my trainer comes at 6:30 and people are like, why? I'm like, because it doesn't affect the rest of my day. I like it.
Yeah.
You know, because then I can do whatever, but that's out of the way and it's done. It doesn't affect my professional life at all. Because who needs me really at 7:30?
Mhm.
Right? Like I'm done at 7:30, I shower and get ready, so I
Breakfast.
can start my day at 9 and I'm
Yeah.
like good to go.
That's like lunchtime
Yeah.
for you.
It used to be. Now I'm tired now. I'm getting old now.
Dear.
But that used to be. I used to be like, oh, I'm at lunchtime at like 10:30. I'm like, what? You
like
know,
lunch.
people are just getting up and I'm already having lunch. But
That's true.
yeah.
All right, well,
Well,
thanks
this
for
is
stopping
awesome.
by.
Yeah, this is
Thank
really
you for
good.
having us.
Well, thanks for coming.
I don't think
Again-
that was as dirty as you wanted.
No, this
but-
is awesome. This is,
okay.
well, you know what? This is not going to be the last time you guys are coming back. You're coming back more.
Okay.
After
No,
the
this
painting
is
party.
fun.
I was just going to say, there's a laundrette.
Dirt for you. Yeah, we'll
We'll
have some
prepare
dirt.
what dirt we're prepared to share. Yeah.
Sweet.
Probably
Sweet. I gave you
and hopefully
mine.
some
I gave you my
pictures.
story, so that's fair enough. I think that's a good opener for now.
Cool.
But yeah.
So where can we get a hold of you again?
Yeah, for sure.
What's
At the
yours?
Strong Queen.
www.thestrongqueen.com.
Yeah.
That's it.
And what else?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all at the Strong Queen.
And was it
Oh, and
TSOQ as
Snapchat.
well?
No, that
Just the Strong Queen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And,
our street
and
name.
some YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, our YouTube
Sweet.
channel.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
we're
we
kind
do.
of funny.
All your lingerie
She's
parties as well?
kind of funny.
No.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Your lingerie parties are found there?
Oh.
Yeah, clips of them.
Wait until you see the new one.
Sweet.
The latest
Send
video
it
is
to me.
pretty
The
Text
latest
me it.
video is
Yeah.
like so lit.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Amazing.
love
Good.
girls so much.
So do I.
Jesus. All right,
Well,
City
this is-
Pods,
yeah,
guys.
this is the city. Yeah. What's your name again, man?
I'm Chad.
Yeah, and I'm Steve, and we are at the Spoke Club. And hey, Steve, how do you keep fit?
Think Fit 365.
Me too, man. This is what we do. We get fit on 365.
Think Fit.
Think Fit.
Yeah.
One of the two.
You get them on.
At TF365, go to the link on Instagram. Trevor's an awesome guy, and I support him. And Trevor, man, thanks for keeping me fit. This is a City
I need to
podcast,
meet Trevor.
and
We
he's
out.
an awesome guy. We
Yeah,
out.
is he single?